Welcome to the farm.
Welcome to the farm. I'm Justin, and today we're going to do some tractor work. So a few videos back, I did the official test of my rock bucket, and I brought it up to my front yard here, where I had ripped out some stumps, and I had a big pile of gravel and dirt left over. And we tested it out by pulling some rocks out of this pile. I'll put a link to that in the description, and maybe up in a card up top you can click on. But anyway, so today we're going to work on trying to finish this off and level it off. And I got two things kind of working against me today. One, I don't know if you can tell by the tractor, but it's a pretty good slope. So that's going to be fighting us. And two, it rained all day yesterday. With this being up on a gravelly hill, I don't think it's going to be too wet, but we'll see how it works. So we'll go ahead and get to work.
What I'm trying to do here is push some of the material from the bottom of the hill to more of the top of the hill, because when I was testing out my rock bucket, I was pushing from the top of the hill down, trying to get a good scoop of dirt, get in deep, and pick a lot of the rocks out. With doing that caused a lot of the material to end up at the bottom side of the hill. So I need to push it back up so I have material at the top to work with. And this ended up being quite a bit of a struggle because of the slope and the dirt being loose, it being a little bit wet. I didn't have my counterweight on, I had the box blade on, which is a couple 100 pounds lighter. So even with the tractor in low gear, in four-wheel drive, and with the rear differential locked, I still struggled to push dirt up the hill. We did succeed, but it was difficult. Now that I got a bunch of dirt back up at the top of the hill, I can use my box blade with gravity in my favor to pull dirt back down the hill and level everything out, getting it ready for topsoil.
So I gotta say, overall, I'm pretty happy with how that smoothed out, even with all these rocks and stuff. I thought it was gonna be a lot more difficult. I had my box blade tipped up pretty aggressively because I knew there was gonna be a lot of big rocks and I wanted that to be able to fall underneath. So what I think I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go to my topsoil pile, bring a few loads of topsoil over, lay that across the top, and then just try to feather some of that out if I can, with it being wet. This worked pretty well, so I have high hopes for the topsoil too. First, I'm gonna pick up some of these bigger rocks that I dragged down the hill. So believe it or not, there is a pile of topsoil here. It was left over from when I cut the driveway in. I pulled all the topsoil back from this part of the driveway and piled it up right here for future use. It's what we've been using in all our raised beds. And it's really come in handy. But there's still quite a bit of rock in it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my rock bucket, I'm going to come in here, scoop some of this up and get some of this rock out. And then I'll come back with a regular bucket and take a couple loads up. Alright, so I got quite a bit of this loosened up and some of the rocks out. I mean, there's still going to be some smaller rocks just because of the nature of the bucket. They're just going to fit through the spaces. But I'm going to go ahead and get the other bucket on, scoop some of this stuff up, and we'll start spreading it out up on top. And if you guys really find this content interesting, consider subscribing. We do this kind of stuff all the time, working on the tractor, working on the farm with the animals, all kinds of fun stuff.
Not having that counterweight on the back and having the box blade on instead made a big difference in how the tractor handled scooping the dirt, and even coming around the hill here. The back end was actually getting a little loose trying to turn and stop. So either I'm going to have to next time take the box blade off, put the counterweight back on, which is a lot of work and kind of a pain in the butt, or maybe what I can do is come up with a way to put more weight on the back of the box blade, just to give me that added weight when I'm doing loader work, and then just lift it off when I'm doing box blade work. Coming around the top and dumping it from the top side of the hill is probably not the best idea anyway. I ended up doing the rest coming from the bottom, which worked a lot better. But I'm really happy with what the rock bucket did to the soil here. It really kind of pulverized the clumps, really loosened it up, and made it really easy to spread later on. I'm putting the dirt on the right side of the screen here, so that way when I go to level with the box blade, I can pick it up from the right and move it across the slope to the left, giving me more room to work because obviously the tree line's there. And then I can come perpendicular and drag down the hill for a second pass, hopefully getting a really smooth level surface. So now that I got the dirt kind of spread out, I can use my box blade to level everything out. I wasn't sure if I had enough dirt brought over. Turned out I did. Coming across the side slope here was probably not the best idea. Obviously working a side slope like that's not the safest idea, but I thought it would be okay. As I was dragging, my back tires were sliding down the hill a little bit, made it a little more difficult, but I never felt like I was losing balance or that the tractor was going to tip over or anything like that. It felt pretty stable. That being said, I don't recommend somebody else do it. I don't have a lot of experience with box blade. I've only used it a handful of times. So the main reason why I did across the slope and then down the slope was because the research I've done, that's generally how you get your best results. If you go across each other, it really levels out. So that's what I was trying to accomplish. It worked really well, but probably wasn't the best way to do it. Probably should have just stacked everything up on the top of the hill like I did when I first started, and then drag everything down a couple times and level it out that way. It probably would have worked a lot better.
really happy with how this turned out. I got it pretty level. I think I'm just gonna go around, pick up a few rocks. I think we're ready for grass seed then. So I don't know how thick you're supposed to put this stuff. The bag gives rates for spreaders and all that good stuff, but I don't have a spreader. So this is what we're doing. This is what we're getting. I have a feeling I probably overspread it, but I'd rather have too much than too little, in my opinion, because grass usually doesn't grow on this hill anyway. It basically was all moss. So I'm hoping we can actually get some grass now. I guess we'll see, but I'm gonna go get some straw and we'll spread some straw over the top and then wet it down, and I think we're done. So I'm gonna try to use some of the old bedding I took out of the chicken coops. I'll just kind of use that as a little bit of a cover. I figure it's got to be good because it's got chicken poop in it, which will help fertilize. And it's already been used once, so it's not like I'm wasting fresh straw that I paid for. So we got all the straw spread out behind me. I don't know if this was a good idea to use the leftover bedding. We had it in like a compost pile almost, and some of it started decomposing, and it was a little hard to spread. Didn't work as nice as like a new straw would have. Some of it was kind of thick and heavy. So hopefully I didn't, you know, mess myself up here growing grass. But it's covered and it's leveled. The rocks are smoothed over. I think Dana will be happy. She's been wanting this for over a year now. Yeah, it takes me a while to do things sometimes. But it's done. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like it. We'd really appreciate it. Consider subscribing to the channel if you enjoyed this. We got lots of content like this, lots of tractor projects, you know, working around, building things, taking care of our animals, a lot of real cool stuff. So if you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing, and we will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.